Trump is not fighting for revenge. He's fighting to restore America's justice system and constitutional order so no one has to face the political persecution that he's been facing simply because of their last name or their party affiliation.
So CNN, CNBC, the New York Post, all lie, saying he's going to seek revenge. It's bullshit. You don't have time.
People are claiming you want retribution. People are claiming you want what has happened to you done to Democrats. Would you do that ever?
Look, what's happened to me has never happened in this country before, and it has to stop because...
Wait a minute. I want to hear that again. It has to stop.
Well, it does have to stop because we're not going to have a country.
It does have to stop. We're not going to have a country left. Now, compare that to Biden's response when asked about allegations of lawfare. Take a look.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Evil, satanic smile. So evil.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
He's so evil. This is just disgusting.
I do.
Make your skin crawl evil. Look at that evil.
And other Democrats. It is Donald Trump taking the high road. Does anyone really believe Biden when he said today that he wouldn't pardon Hunter? Take a look.
Oh, hell no.
And your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And
Liar.
have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Lying bastard.
For Bill politics appearances, they
That's all he
seem to
does.
matter the most.
Well, hopefully
Remember, the
he
border's
won't.
secure and the border's closed. And by the way, he gets more
Hunter
done
can
in
go
an
to
hour
prison
than you
like he
do in an
deserves.
entire day. You know, contrasted here with Donald Trump showing real empathy, sympathy for Hunter Biden's addiction by sharing his own heartfelt story about a family member with addiction. Take a look. You don't drink.
No,
Never have.
no, never had a drink. I had a brother who suffered tremendously from alcoholism and alcohol.
Had. He
And
must have
it
died.
was a terrible thing to watch. He was an incredible guy with the best personality. He was the best looking person you've ever seen. Everything was perfect, but he had an addiction. And
That
so I
destroys
understand
everything.
addiction because he was very close. He was very close to me. He was an incredible guy. But he suffered, and I've had many friends, but my brother suffered tremendously from this addiction.
So in spite of this phony characterization by the media mob and Democrats, Donald Trump is not running to become some kind of third world dictator. He's not trying to rewrite the Constitution. He's pledging not to abuse
That's
power.
what the Democrats
This is
want to do.
simply a caricature.
Get rid of
created
it.
By psychotic Trump
Put you in a
haters
15-minute
on the
city
hard
that you
left and in
cannot
the media
leave.
mob. Donald Trump is not running for revenge. He's not running out of spite.
That's only
He's
Biden.
running to make your country a better place with a nonpartisan justice system, equal justice under the law, equal application of our laws. Yeah, and that means if you're guilty, you're going to be held accountable. A bureaucracy that is held accountable, a border that is secure, a world that is peaceful with safety and prosperity for all. Can you say the same thing about Biden and the radical Democrats? They didn't even want him on
Hell
the
no!
ballot for crying out loud. Anyway, here with reaction, Fox News contributors Kellyanne
Disgusting
Conway,
and
Charlie
sick.
Herter with us. Kellyanne, get your initial reaction, not just to those answers, but Donald Trump's interview last night. And feel free to
It's a
criticize the
terrific
host.
interview. I'm so glad. No, I would not do that. I'm glad you asked him that question. I'm glad you asked him to repeat it because this is the new narrative by all the lemmings in the mainstream media this week. Trump wants revenge and vengeance. He's the one who's had
Vengeance
that
is mine,
visited
saith
upon
the
him.
Lord.
If
He don't need to do it.
Need any evidence,
They're
look
going to
no
stand
further
before God.
than how he just stood down in any kind of prosecution of Hillary Clinton and retribution after he beat her fairly and squarely and racked up 304 electoral votes in 2016. Many people said lock her up. I think now with Biden it's prop him up. That's a new 3-word chant we should have. But Trump is the one saying let's move forward, that we need to undo the damage of the Biden legacy. And you know what, Sean? I don't think that this narrative is going to take hold except among the elites, the rich people trying to ruin this country by telling everybody
And the
what
few
they should think, how they
do-nots
should
that still
vote,
believe this.
what they should do. And the reason is, if you look at the new Fox News polling, it's our best evidence yet. Fox News has Donald Trump clearing 50% in Florida, in Arizona, and Nevada. This is huge news. In Arizona, 67% of those who say they're very motivated to vote favor Trump by double digits. It shows Joe Biden in state after state has a gender gap problem with men. Trump's beating Joe Biden by 15 points among men. All we hear all day long is the women's vote, suburban women. Fine, but there's a real gender gap going on, and it's Biden's gender gap with men. In that Arizona poll, many people are saying that Trump is the best on the issues, to handle the issues and bring them forward that they care most about. And let me just say something very quickly about D-Day. I was there 5 years ago with President and Mrs. Trump. He gave an incredible speech. People can pull it up. He spent his time meeting with those veterans. He spent his time meeting with world leaders. I was there. I was in those meetings. Joe Biden showed up last night, and they called a lid. We don't know what he did. And so there's some days like today, Sean, I feel like maybe Donald Trump is better off actually ignoring Joe Biden. We give him too much of our oxygen and energy because people know what they see. And now they're listening to what Trump has to say. And he's the guy with the more affirmative, positive, forward-looking message for America. That's the kind of person who wins. 50% in Nevada, a state that Republicans have not won presidentially since 2004. That's huge. And those 6 electoral
And every
votes were
American
recent to us
needs
these
to
last
ask
two times. I
themselves,
think Trump's got a
were
good
you
chance
better
of
off 4
actually
years
having
ago
Biden pull
or
out of
today?
Nevada in the next couple of months and have to focus on those very white states, Joe Biden, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Wouldn't that be something?
Charlie Hurt, let's get your take on that. And, you know, I agree with a lot of what Kellyanne had just said there. You know, it's funny, they've tried everything against Trump, but we have 2 new polls out today, post-conviction. Guess who's
Okay,
leading?
y'all gonna have
Donald
to
J.
start
Trump.
watching Hannity.
Yeah.